This coming Tuesday, we have decided as government to bite the bullet, to take the revenue sharing formula proposal before the Senate. If the Senate listens to us, they will pass it. If they refuse, that's okay. But we shall ensure we shall bite the bullet on Tuesday. We shall not negotiate any further. And it means there will be no further adjournment. We shall meet on Tuesday, we finalize this issue. And the reason is, we have tried to pass this thing for 5 times. All of them have failed. And the reason is because some people are still insisting more negotiations. But now we have decided we need to settle this discussion because counties are suffering. If for any reason that proposal will be defeated, then those of us who support His Excellency, we shall know there's no need for BBI. Because to us, the reason why we are supporting BBI as Mount Kenya leaders is because that BBI stands for one man, one shilling. And that is the whole concept underpinning the committee's proposal on how we should share the county revenue. So there is no way you can be a supporter of BBI, then on the other hand, you oppose the committee proposal. Remember, by the way, Mount Kenya counties are not the main beneficiaries of this proposal. Number 1 is the Rift Valley, number 2, Nyanza counties, number 3, Western counties. So therefore, the idea of framing the debate as if we are assisting Mount Kenya is neither here or there. And therefore, if we don't pass this formula, then we shall reconsider our stand in BBI, and we shall say then there's no need for us supporting BBI. Because we are thinking on one of the proposals in the BBI is that devolve 35% of the entire national revenue to the counties. That translates to about an extra 10 billion per county. So the idea that people are fearing, hey, some counties are going to lose, is hogwash. It's not true. It's false. Already in the BBI, we are devolving 35% of the national revenue. So there is no single county that is going to lose. So no passage of formula, no BBI. The counties are now at a crisis. There was a meeting last week hosted by Chairman of Council of Governors, Honorable Oparanya, and he clearly said that counties are suffering as a result of this problem we are now encountering. So for us, we have made a decision. On Tuesday, no passage of the formula, no BBI. We thought we are supporting BBI so that we devolve more funds to the counties, and therefore no county loses. We are supporting BBI because it supports the concept of one man, one shilling, and that is the whole rationale that is underpinning this proposal. And therefore, those who are going to defeat the proposal, we shall know then they are not supporters of BBI.
Very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us. This show is People's Court, and what we're going to look at is the revenue allocation headache that the country has right now and is threatening to divide the country in the middle, as the senators there have refused to agree on how to share the way forward and the formula to share the revenue in this country. So we shall be looking at what is there and what was previously there and how they've been going about it. The other time on Thursday, they failed again for the 5th time to agree on this, so we shall see which way forward. And today, of course, they are in Senate and they're discussing it and which way forward for Kenya. So joining me in this conversation from the Political Command Center is none other than Dr. David Matanga. Doctor, good morning.
Morning. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, sorry, it's good afternoon. Sorry, I don't know where the heck is.
It's 12 o'clock.
It is.
Good afternoon, the rest of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And then we have Professor Jared Onyari. Professor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Miriam and Dr. Masanga, Wesonga, Karen, and Samson, and the rest of our viewers.
All right, and then we go to the coast where we have usually we hear her through the the phone call, but today she's with us here live, and that is Karen Joseph from Malindi. Karen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miriam from the studio. A very good afternoon from Malindi, Dr. Matanga, Professor Jared, Samson. It's a good afternoon here from Malindi. Thank you for having me here today.
All right, you're very much welcome. And our usual correspondent from the CBD here is Daniel Wasonga. Daniel, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Daniel seems to be fighting something. What's going on, man?
Good afternoon, Miriam Mogutu, Dr. Matsanga, Professor Jared Donyadi, Alomba Samson, Karen Joseph from Mombasa, and our viewers here in Kenya, Africa, and the globe at large. Good afternoon.
All right, thank you so much. And last but not least is our very own from the lakeside city of Kisumu, and it is Samson Onyango Alomba. Samson, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Miriam. Good afternoon, Dr. Masanga. Good afternoon, Professor Nyari, my friend Dan. Good afternoon, Karen, our viewers in Kenya, our viewers in Africa, and of course, our viewers across the world. This is Samson Alomba from Kisumu for the Punchline African TV. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So I'll just do the introduction and then I'll just set the stage for us to have a discussion on this very important thing that is now threatening to divide the country on the middle. And the Senate, for the fifth time a couple of days ago, failed to adopt the third basis formula for sharing revenue among counties during a special sitting as financial operations in the counties take a hit. The formula was developed by the Commission on Revenue Allocation and forwarded to the Senate for consideration last year. According to Article 27, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Kenya, once every 5 years, the Senate must determine the basis for allocating funds among the counties, and the differences between senators whose counties are likely to gain and those that will lose have been the biggest hindrance to the adoption of the formula there. Dr. Statist for us.
Thank you very much, Miriam. This is a sad day. If whichever way the formula goes through, whichever formula you want to use, it has tested the unity of this country. It has destroyed the unity of this country. It is something very noble. Counties should have money. There must be decorum in this distribution of money. The truth is, you don't distribute money to landmass. If you take us back to school, remove our degrees, and we can agree. I will throw mine all and remain Matanga without having gone to school. You can't tell me here in this 21st century, actually 22nd century now, that you distribute money to animals, to plants, to trees, to landmass, to the ocean. I've never seen an ocean making a ship to sail on it. But a human being makes a ship to sail on an ocean. I've never seen a canoe, Lake Victoria making a canoe to the fishmongers of Kisumu, that here I send you the canoes, come and fish on me. I'm using these examples so that the people of Kenya can understand. Majority can also be abused. Minority can abuse majority. That's where anarchy begins. Anarchy in Rwanda started when minority was destroyed. Anarchy in Burundi was the opposite. I don't know, my friend the professor knows what created the conflict in Burundi. It's not the same as what created the conflict in Rwanda. In Burundi, the Tutsis were more, and the Hutus were few. In Rwanda, the Tutsis were few, and the Hutus were more. So if you don't balance the majority and the minority, put them together, you have destroyed your country. Here we are. If we manage the CRA to look for a formula. And the CRA has brought a formula. Why don't we agree on it? Then we should dissolve the CRA, send it back in, then we do the things. Then there was a lady by name Naume Wako last night. I felt like banging, storming my television, and unfortunately it is very expensive. I should have broken it to pieces because I bought it 147,000. That's a lot of money. It's a big screen in my bedroom. I felt like just breaking it to pieces. Do you know what she was saying? She was saying, our people were not counted because they had gone to look for grass and cattle, over cattle and deep and what is your problem? What was the problem? Didn't they know that census was coming? They started that strategy of making sure that this whole thing does not pass. You remember they started by opposing the census. This is the second time they have opposed the census. You remember there was census by Oparanya when Kibaki was here. You remember that? It was totally contested. They said there are more. And let's look at the genesis of the problem. Not that anybody is against anybody from the frontier states. This is the problem that is in Nigeria today, where the minority has sat on 80 million out of a population of 220. The Igbos are 120 million. But the Fulanis and the other tribes are how many? They are just the balance of 220 million. But the Fulanis have come to rule and even take the oil, which we sing here every day with Emilia. We have been singing about the oil thing. It has killed several people. People in southeastern Nigeria live a very bad life on water. Houses are built in water. Mosquitoes are biting them. The Fulani come and take the oil. The ships are hooting on the Atlantic Ocean shores. Bring oil, bring oil. We are waiting. Our ship is leaving tomorrow. Please, you people, watch. This thing here of revenue today can create us a very big conflict tomorrow. Kenya is full of structural challenges, structural obstacles that can evolve into a very bad conflict that you cannot stop. And be careful. Be careful. You have 4,000 camels. Okay. Do camels need a house? Camels need a house, or camels need water?
Water.
So, if they give you money for camels, for boreholes, is the money for boreholes equivalent to the money for apartments in Nairobi? Let's talk the truth. Is the money for boreholes? If we go and drop boreholes in Isiolo, so that the camel people don't go to Taveta to beat up people because they are looking for grass. It's not the cost of putting apartments in Nairobi, where the population is swelling to 10 million. By 2025, Nairobi population will be about 10 million people, with people sleeping almost 1-to-1. If you look at the way apartments are being built, high-rise buildings. Have you seen high-rise buildings coming in Nairobi? Close to each other, that they compete. If you are sleeping in this house, you won't know what is happening 10 miles away. In 2030, Nairobi will be like that. You'll be in a queue, a line of high-rise buildings where the streets are very narrow. You pass. Because everything is becoming difficult. The population is growing. They need accommodation near the town. The Indians who bought parklands, for example, who bought Ngara, today are reaping money because offices are moving to Ngara. Have you seen that very soon that market will not be there? There will be high-rise buildings. Tell me how many of high-rise buildings will be built in Isiolo. And if you are going to build a 5-star hotel in Isiolo, who will sleep in a 5-star hotel? Who? How many times, among you on the panel, how many of you have been to Isiolo? I have. You see, there you are. 2 people have been to Isiolo. The rest, 0. No. They don't even know. So now, look at me. I've been to Isiolo 4 times. The first time as a rebel, passing through there to go and avoid the truck in 1979. So that I go down through Meru and I get into Namanga. Avoid Namanga, not Namanga, Meru, to join Arusha, that side. We have walked on foot. The trailer man who brought us from Uganda, the Somali drove the trailer up to Somali, up to Isiolo. And they left the trailer there and they said, you are on your own. Find your way. And if they ask you, I don't know you. This is 78. After witnessing the burial of Mzee Kenyatta here, life never became the same. So I've been to Isiolo, in short. So if 2 out of 5, out of 6, 2 of us have only been to Isiolo. Look at the percentage of the whole of Kenya. We have an airport in Isiolo. I'm making a case for this afternoon. Just 1 minute, Miriam. A case for this afternoon to allow others to say. We have an airport. Mira is dead. Somalia doesn't want our Mira. The airport in Isiolo has never even experienced an emergency landing. So you are paying your workers at the airport in Isiolo. Kenya Airport Authority pay workers who do nothing, who actually share the airport with the monkeys that come and sit on the tarmac and the baboons. Their role in Isiolo is to chase baboons away from the runway. Am I wrong? So while the worker in Nairobi at the JKA, every 1 hour, the worker, a cleaner, has to clean the toilets 4 times. While the toilet in Isiolo, at the Kenya Airport Authority, at the airport, is cleaned once in a week. Why? There are no people using it. So why don't you transfer such a thing? While in Kisii, if you go to Kisii town, where Mr. Professor comes from Friday, Saturday.
My sister county. I come from Nyamira. My sister county is Kisii.
Kisii, yes. From Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all lodges are full. If you put a 5-star hotel in Kisii, it will be full. All people from Nyamira, Migori, they drive towards the hilly place and the valleys to go and relax in Kisii. He just wants to be seen in Kisii. Even those from Nyamira want to say, I have just come from Kisii. He's telling the wife, I've come from Kisii. He's telling the wife, I've come from Malindi. Malindi town. I went to Malindi. That's enough. If you put a 5-star hotel in Malindi, you will earn money than putting a 5-star hotel in Isolo. So which place needs, you will earn more money and the county will collect more money. The question here is, all these counties that are wanting more money, all their governors are in court. Why is the Senate not telling us the truth? Olonkoko, the Koleoko, all these men, they are in court. Wesonga knows how to pronounce them with Miriam, I don't know. They are in court for corruption. Why is corruption killing devolution? Let's not talk about why the money is not there. The money is there. What have they done with the money, Miriam? They have eaten it. They have bought houses in Karen and Arunda. Mr. Olongokol, the governor of Samburu, was the poorest man, church mouse in town. Very poor like a church mouse, that guy there. You could not even sit near him. Now today, he has got apartments in Karen. Our Kenyan is not thinking. Even if you give them all this money, if I were President Uhuru Kenyatta, I would get, this is my last term, and Your Excellency, listen to me. Give them, let's forge unity. Let's live a united Kenya. Give them the money. Si ndio wanataka pesa, wacha wakule. Ruto wao, wakule. Yeah. Why do you tell lies? So Ruto behind this, all this. Why do you tell lies? He's the one. We have been warning and warning and warning. Corruption, 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 corruption. And the people don't listen to us. But God one day will listen. I'm telling you people, this voice might not be there today and tomorrow. But there's one man, Machiavellian man, killing this country. And you are going to see. The people going to vote today, have you seen how a woman of Eldoret was speaking on television this morning? As if she has not just divorced a very good husband who has very good boys with her. Very nice boys for a Mzungu. Wewe. You go and insulting Uhuru Kenyatta kila siku. If your marriage can even defeat you, what can you win? Kwenda. Thank you, Miriam. I've finished.
All right, thank you there, Doctor. So, Professor, yesterday, I think all of us must have watched that news item when the leaders of the northern part of Kenya met, and I remember one of them saying, if this bill goes through, they were threatening that they shall leave Kenya for the Kenyans, and they will go, and I don't know from which country or join which country. It was not very clear about what they were saying, but they threatened they will leave Kenya for the Kenyans, because they're saying should this go through, then it will mean that they're not part of the country, because they feel that the marginalization will continue. But as I was listening, because these are leaders, national leaders, whose people are listening and are watching and are hearing what they're saying, would you consider such sentiments are reckless? And if so, what are the dangers of such sentiments being made out in public by our leaders, despite of whatever thing they want to address?
Thank you, Miriam, for that question. One day I was listening to Koigi Wamere being interviewed on how they have struggled to make Kenya what it is today. When they were detained in Manyani and he was taken there, he found my former member of parliament, the late George Anyona. And George Anyona welcomed him into detention. And Koigi was wondering, how can someone welcome you to detention? He said, Koigi, Kenya has got work to do. And we have to do it. There's nobody to do it. Why am I saying this? These members of parliament from the Northern Court of Kenya, they are registrators. Article 216 of the Kenyan Constitution gives revenue Commission for Revenue Allocation.
Every 5 years, they have a mandate.
Yes, they don't wake up one morning and then they give a formula. They invite people. They invite those members of parliament. This formula did not come today. And Miriam, for heaven's sake, listen to what Dr. Matsanga is saying. This is Machiavellian kind of politics which is being played on. But we have got a country to fix. Let what they are trying to say, let them take it to the floor of the House and argue there. With us, we can talk here, but let them take the floor of the House and persuade their fellow registrators in the senators in the assembly, and they do it. I did tell you how we got Constituent Development Fund. It was one man, Engineer Karwe. He argued and he was able to convince his members of parliament, and they passed that bill. How did we get the sex offences bill? It is true in Justin Jokindumu. He was able to persuade. So if you have got an opportunity to persuade and debate in the floor of the House, go and debate there. Don't come to incite Kenyans and divide Kenyans. That is a reckless talk of people who are not very patriotic, people who have got no nationalism in them. And let me tell you, and Dr. Matsanga, we mark exams. Students cannot get 100%. They get 90, they get 80, they get 70, they get 60, they get even 51. That is a pass. So long as it will be a democratic process in the floor of the Senate, go back and incite their people. What I want to hear, Miriam, is for them saying among the formulas which has been brought in place, we don't agree on this. We are talking about the population. Instead of saying how the population is going to be catered for and get services. Dr. Matsanga said we need housing in Nairobi. We need water in Nairobi. And the population after every other day, we have got more than thousands of the young people flocking the city. So it is very unfortunate. Those are leaders. They should be able to rise at par. And let me tell you, the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, it brought a lot of bad things to this country. What they were trying to say, that is treasonable. Trying to interfere and threatening that they can secede, that is treasonable, I tell you. But be it as it say, there is too much freedom in Kenya. Every monkey will come from wherever it is coming and they will say whatever it is. Let us give them their freedom of saying what they say. But let us have the maturity of their way. And this afternoon, let us wait on the Senate. Whichever way it will go, it is democracy. Even if the one who is purporting that he wants to be a president of Kenya, he will have the same headache come 2023 when you are a president. Let us try to fix and correct anomalies during this time. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Karen. The countries that are set to lose in this issue, this new formula pass is Wajir, which allocations will be cut by 1.9 billion. Mandera, Marsabit will see their revenues drop by 1.8 billion each. And also Garissa, Tana River, and a few other counties there. Of course, some parts of the country are also set to lose in the allocation bill, should it pass through. So as much as they perhaps have the leaders, while they were speaking yesterday, they might be having legitimate concern over the cut of some of these monies they'll not be receiving. But the way they came out in public to express this and to threaten to even leave Kenya to Kenyans, alluding that, they're probably not part of Kenya. I mean, what are the dangers of such sentiments by our leaders?
Well, Miriam, leadership isn't about just getting to the public and saying anything. Leadership is being responsible of even what you say. That's being a leader. Now, such sentiments could easily incite the common manage out there. You're inciting them. When you say we will leave your country, head somewhere else. You know, Miriam, when you have headache, you don't cut off the head. You deal with it. You sit down there and deal with it as a man. You don't cut off the head because you have headache. What do you do? Okay, I have headache. What do I do about it? But running away from a problem isn't just a leadership character. It isn't. Now, we should be careful of what we say as leaders, number one. We could easily incite other people. So I agree with Professor Jared Onyari here. We should let the majority have their way. Let the majority have their way. We've been trying to talk about unity for some time here. And as a leader, if you incite the common mwananchi, then you're dividing the whole country. And that is what we're working on. That's not what we're working on. We're working on uniting the whole country. So let us, I know from the cost, I have Taita Taveta, which will be losing at around 388 million. But Dr. Matanga said that we're not taking this money to trees. We're not giving to baboons. These are fellow human beings. So let's agree on one thing. It will help some other people. It will help. We're not giving it to baboons. We give it to human beings. So let's have the majority have their way, and let us be very careful of what we say as leaders. It could be used against us, and it could incite the whole country. We've already had enough clashes already in this country. We have so much to deal with. Right. And this is one of the list of things we need to deal with right now. We have the COVID, we have other things to deal with. So that's what I have to say, Miriam. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Karen. Daniel, you don't cut a head to treat a headache.
Yes, thank you, Miriam. And first of all, I want to make it unequivocally clear that this is a formula that has been developed under the second. Remember, we had the first, second, and this one is the third. And before they came up with this formula, they had some lessons that they learned from the second one. And this is just an improved formula to ensure that we do have a fair share of resources and to ensure that we have a balanced development. You know, you might have a situation in Nairobi. We do have a hospital that do not have enough drugs, a hospital that do not have enough bed capacity. And you find that in Isiolo, they want to construct a road that rarely has vehicles passing there. So, you know, when you look at that kind of development, it's lopsided and it cannot stand. But the Constitution says that we should have equitable share of resources. And in this distributing the resources in an equitable manner, we also have to look at the question of fairness. You know, you cannot tell me maybe Mr. Abdullahi, who is in Italy owning an electronic shop, is more marginalized than Mr. Otieno or Mr. Kamau, who is pulling carts in Mudurwa and doing all kind of manual work to earn a living. So this is an issue that should be looked at and critically rather, and be able to be implemented in a way that every Kenyan will feel that they are receiving a fair share of the national resources. We are not saying that we are denying, we are taking money from Garissa so that we can be able to empower the people of Nairobi or Mombasa. No, we are just saying that we need to make sure that the common man in Garissa gets an equal share of the devolved money as that of a man who is living in Nairobi. And Miriam, I had this critical question. How many of us who are come from, let's say, Busia or maybe Isiolo, Mandera, who are counted here in Nairobi during the census and benefit from Nairobi? So you cannot just say that these people, because maybe you come from Isiolo, Isiolo should get this amount of money because it has been marginalized, and yet maybe a majority of its residents are also benefiting from Nairobi. So if Nairobi is overwhelmed by a large number of people, then Nairobi should be given a priority when it comes to allocating resources. And the other counties are in that order, very much, very organized manner. So to me, it's not a question of getting money from another county to give another county. It's a question of priority, of ensuring that there's a balanced development, ensuring that the issues and the problems are addressed in quite a sufficient manner. So that is what one man, one shilling, one vote should be all about. But all these other politics, I think it's very unfortunate when these leaders state that they want to maybe secede from Kenya, just their own future. So one question I would want to ask them is how much do they also contribute to the national kitty? how much revenue do these counties generate? To some extent, we are doing them a favor just giving them this money so that they can also be able to solve their own issues. So let them seek amicable ways of solving this stalemate. But my opinion, I think I won't change from my earlier stand. One man, one vote, 1 shilling, the best revenue allocation system that we could ever have as a country.
Daniel, I'm not sure if we were doing them a favor, because I think they are part of Kenya. So the government of Kenya has the responsibility to make sure all its people and all the parts of this country are together in terms of, development and things like that, and even revenue sharing. So I don't think we're doing them a favor. If they heard you say that, I'm not sure they're not going to be very happy with you. But we go to Samson. So these leaders are saying, you know what, Kenyans, if you continue like this, you can stay with your Kenya. What is the implication of such sentiments, and what dangers do they, pose?
Thank you so much, Miriam. First of all, I want to get an assurance from you that you are able to listen to me, because there's
yes, you're okay. Just go ahead. Go ahead, Samson. You're fine.
Thank you. Now, Miriam, allow me to give these leaders that appear ignorant and our viewers who are really listening, I want to give them some little education about revenue allocation. First of all, revenue allocation is a requirement of the Constitution, Article 216, and it gives that mandate to the Commission on revenue allocation. It is not something that has been derived from a political rally or a baraza somewhere. It is something that is entrenched in law, that there has to be a procedure on revenue allocation. How does this commission really operate? First of all, it has to involve the public, meaning everybody's opinion has to be sought for. Consultations have to be there between the county government and the national government. Then we also have the public finance opinion being incorporated. So it is not something. It is not an event. It is a process, a legal process. It involves opinion from the public, consultations, and of course all other stakeholders have to be. What informs the decision of the commission? There are parameters, economic and legal parameters. First, they have to poverty index. They man every county. 2, there is what we call health index. They must do an assessment, the status of health in every region. They also the structure of the household in terms of income. All this information has to be sought for. Then there is also information on existing policy on economy, agreed conventions, actual county government expenditure, transfer of funds. So all these processes have to be followed. And Miriam, let me ask the panelists a question. At what stage did we begin having a problem? Mm-hmm. We began having a problem at the political stage when the document was presented to the Senate. That is when we had a problem. Why did we have a problem? Because we refused to isolate politics from this important national discussion. The media is a victim. For example, I always see the Standard Nation categorizing other counties as gainers and as losers. This has a potential of inciting Kenyans. Some Kenyans, for example, from where Professor Nyeri comes from, it's good Professor Nyeri is wise enough to understand. But what about that villager who is in Nyakemincha, for example, who doesn't understand, or can only read from the newspapers his or her county being regarded as a loser? Politicians are another perpetrator. Politicians are other group of perpetrators. They go out there, evoke emotions in a bid to settle some political scores. For example, in the morning, I had some leaders from Northeastern crying. I want to ask them a question. They always benefit highly from equalization fund kit. Have we ever had a problem, maybe from Nairobi, people from Nairobi complaining that a county in Northeastern province getting bigger chunk of money? These people have refused to isolate politics from this serious national dialogue. So it's time. I want to appeal to the age and experience of our leaders, especially senior senator. Let them not plunge our county into chaos. Let them try to separate politics from this particular issue.
All right.
We can't. Our governors, for example, they have not even fully accounted for the few coins that they have, the billions that they received from 2013. They want to look for. They are now demanding for more. In fact, involving politics into this. So it is a very unfortunate discussion that we are having, and I think I just pray that sanity will prevail. Sentiments from the Northeastern leaders should not be taken for granted, because they have followers who have political inclination towards them. So if they regard themselves as non-Kenyans, what will their followers do? So really, I think sanity should prevail, and let us come out of this particular issue stronger than forever.
All right, thank you there, Samson, coming to us all the way there from the lakeside city of Kisumu. Now, Doctor, they look at a few parameters when it comes to this allocation, and I know we've looked at the health index, agriculture, county population, and all of this, and land mass, which is now, is the basis of the argument and the division that we see right now. But there are others, like poverty, which is has been allocated 14%, urban households 5%, fiscal effort, that is the capability of a county to get its own revenue, and I think one of us has mentioned that it has been allocated 2%, but there's something that we don't talk about much often, and it has also been allocated a very small percentage. I don't understand why, and that is the prudent use of public resources at 2%, because the argument has been a lot of these senators and governors who are now talking and opposing this new bill, when you look at, they're having a record right now, even in the Kenyan courts, they're having a case because they have misused the public funds. And in this allocation bill, when they're allocating counties money, they look at the use of public resources at 2%. Should this very important index here be at the top? If you don't use the monies that have been given prudently, then perhaps you should not receive so much money. They've put it at 2%. Doctor, is this something that has been quite important, but we have overlooked it? And perhaps you could, form the basis on how these monies are being distributed, to our counties, looking at the previous allocations and how they've been spent by the counties. All right, Professor, could you take that for me as we wait for Doctor to join?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I've come. How many countries in Africa have Senate? How many? How many countries in the African continent that have Senate? I will tell you. Should I tell you? 4. 4 countries. Kenya, Zimbabwe, Nigeria. You've seen Nigeria? And Democratic Republic of Congo. Show me one other country which has got Senate. Among these 4 countries, which country can sustain the Senate? Which country? I'm going to hammer it as it is. Which country can sustain? Can it is Kenya here sustain Kenya Senate? Can Kenya sustain the Senate? What's the use of a Senate? The only country among the four that can sustain and pay salaries for the Senate is Nigeria. Even South Africa has no Senate. Nyenye, mnazungumza nini aterere? Don't bring these problems here. Carry them out. Let the Kenyans decide to wipe this Senate out. Remove it. If I were Uhuru, I would change the BBI to put one question. Do you need the Senate or not? I swear, 99% of Kenyans will vote, carry them out. Kenya cannot afford a Senate. It's too poor. You want the realities today? Mnasema muko na pesa iko wapi? South Africa is richer than Kenya. Has it got a Senate? Nani mwambie? Nyenye mniambie. Nyenye mnileta constitution. I told you, do you know why I call it this subject today? Here, I teach political science. And I told you that what you are talking here now, Miriam, will link with what we talked in the Constitution. Have you seen where you went wrong? Where did you get the Senate from? Are you able to pay this Senate? Are you able to pay this Senate? When you have childish behavior, people who are children, the Senate in the House of Commons are elderly, well-organized, brain-wise. I want to talk like the man from the left. Brain-wise, well-organized. Power Senate. In London, the House of Lords is equivalent to the Senate. Not Tom and Dick Harry goes to the House of Lords. Have you ever seen a Supreme Court in London? United Kingdom has no Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the House of Lords. Go to the Senate in America. The Senate in America, 90% of the senators in America have money that can feed Kenya for 1 year. One senator has factories, industries, umesikia? Has written books. Obama entered the Senate when he was already making money. You remember? Once he stepped in the Senate, he made money in writing books. He didn't have industries, but he started growing his influence. A senator in US is chosen on merit. Someone is going to represent a community where resources are available already. You only need to say, I need a dispensary in Chicago. If you are the senator of Chicago, the money is there available. We created a monster. You people created a monster called the Senate, which has no job. Have you noticed that you call a minister in the parliament, then again you call a minister in the Senate? What are the questions they're asking in the parliament are the same questions they're asking in the Senate. Senate just works as a duplicity, a structured obstacle. Why did you bring it? Why did you bring it? That's point number one. This lady here touched a point I don't want to miss. Leadership. And I'm very happy, Karen. That's the spirit from Malindi. Leadership. If you are a leader, you must measure your words. Apana kukuja, leaders don't urinate in the public. Leaders go to the toilet. They use it as, why did they create a toilet? Leaders don't stop their cars, a convoy, and go to the bush. That's why once a fisherman, paparazzi, sees you, you lose your job. Because you're supposed to be a leader. But the leaders in Africa, we have a problem. Point number 3, Professor raised, Wamweri. What were we looking for? Unity. But let me leave that first. Let me ask one question to the panel. How much money do these people collect? Sindio, all of us, how much money do these people collect?
I think Dr.
Songa, the revenue of allocation formula is that you also collect your money.
Mm-hmm. It's called fiscal effort. Mm.
Yes. So I want to ask Nyamira man, where this dangerous Chief Justice comes from. You know, Mr. Nyamira, how much does Isiolo collect from their own revenue? How much? Compared to Kiambu, compared to Kisumu, compared to Eldoret, compared to Nandi, compared to Baringo, compared. Because when you talk about the Kiambu, you see, Nyenye Aterere, don't bring this problem here. These people just hate it. Can I say the truth? Can I say? I don't want to say it here. Let me keep quiet. This is a very big hatred. This is a professor. If you don't see this line, beneath all this, there is a hatred of a certain tribe.
Dr. Masanga, let me help you. There is a perception that the new formula is going to benefit people from a certain region, and for that case, my Kikuyu brothers. That is a fallacy. It is not a lie. It is even going to make people in Rift Valley, people from Western and everywhere gain. And the people who live in Nairobi are Kikuyus.
But Professor, even the counties that have been listed there that are gaining from this formula, Nandi is one of them. We have quality. Yeah, so there's no need to have a lot of razzmatazz about this point. And I think Dr. Masanga has raised a very, very quintessential point. When you look at the description of politics is about who gets what, how, and when. And I think we as a country, we seem to borrow a system of politics where from the developed countries, when we don't have these resources, you cannot share what you don't have as a country. First of all, we need to have enough resources before we can come up with this system of governance which America is having. Before we can be able to look at to set up our judiciary in the way America is setting up their judiciary. When you look at China, when it was moving into the era of modernity, it was very keen in copying whatever America was doing in terms of industrialization, in terms of technology, in terms of manufacturing, but it was not keen on borrowing on how the Americans govern themselves. The system of governance remain to what they were doing before. And that is what as a people we should do first. Let us first of all enrich ourselves before we can be able to bring these methods of governance to our people, because they create a lot of discord and deficiency in terms of leadership and everything. I think Dr. Masanga has been very clear in terms of talking about how many countries have Senate and how they can be able to sustain it. We don't have
and thank you for helping me here. Let me finish my point. My point, Professor Onyali, is this. Amongst these 4 countries, our viewer, one of the viewers is asking, do we pay them stones? You pay them from hard-earned money to ask duplicate questions. Do you need the Senate in Kenya? Surely. Tell me one East African country that has a Senate. When you have you don't even make a ventilator, not even one. Tell me, which East African country has a Senate?
Dr. Matanga, now the senators are sitting somewhere masquerading as they are helping us to share the resources. The resources themselves we don't have. We don't have enough money in Kenya to our own even budgets. We borrow a lot of money from outside.
Actually, the fourth country that I was missing was Somalia.
Cameroon too, I think, has a Senate, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure.
Yes, about 5, 6. But those are the countries. Cameroon can afford a Senate. You know why? They are rich in oil. Have you seen Yaoundé? Go to Yaoundé. It doesn't look like Nairobi. Aya, wa. Tuambie ni ukweli. Fly into Yaoundé. Fly into Yaoundé. Go to Abuja, the capital city, which was just done a few miles ago. Does it look like a Kampala? Kampala, if do you know one of the biggest dangers that Kampala can have? If the sewage system bursts, everybody will drown. Did you know that? God forbid, the pipes, if they burst in those hills, 7, everybody will drown. Everybody has built the way they built. If there's an earthquake in Kampala, which does not come, because Kampala is not in the earthquake passage in the Rift Valley, we are safer a bit. The other earthquake that can come is Renzori, you know, that side. We are lucky. But look at, ask cardinal questions. And the final question I'm asking, Miriam, is this. Why do you vote one man, one vote, and then you don't want that one man to get a shilling? Why do you want one man to get 1.5 shilling when he has voted with one vote, which is not cut in the middle? Wacha tuambiane ukweli, Professor. The ballot is like this. Why do you want a man who has also got a tick and voted with one voted President Uhuru, deputy, You don't want him to also share. You want, no. Why do you do political suffrage and deny people economic suffrage? Why does Britain give money to Scotland? Why does Britain give money to Ireland? Why does money, do you know the word called Kwango? What is a Kwango? Dr. Fred Matianga from Nyamira used the word Kwango. Every Kenyan was running to say Kwango, Kwango. They don't know. No, a Kwango, Miriam can tell you what it is. It's a state. It's a small entity. Kwangos are counties, some Kwangos, groups, organizing themselves. Main Britain collects all the taxes. There are more people who visit London than there are who visit Scotland, Edinburgh, Glasgow. So do you give Glasgow the same money? Do you give Glasgow money equivalent to London? Tuambiane ukweli. Tuambiane ukweli. Do you give Glasgow more money? I want to thank you so much. Me, I've submitted my life and my statement. Whichever way you want to go today, whichever the outcome. First, I did not want to speak on this topic. I'm fed up. If you defy your leader of the party and you go and incite people, this is incitement, Jamen. And this incitement is killing a redemption strategy. If you defy Raila Odinga today, this afternoon, and vote against what he has told you when he knows it is for the better of the country, we shall explain to these guys. There's only one man going to benefit. And you know the man who is going to benefit, who has worked out a strategy of Machiavelli to sit back, arm twist, go and collect only 3 senators from the other side, pay them. Have you seen corruption charges here? Senator Olekina is saying people are being paid 5 million. Have you heard that? Mm-hmm. This is very serious. Paid 5 million to vote. So it means there is a lot of money that has come. And when I say the Kenya is poor, I want to tell my friend, Edwin, I did not mean it is poor in that situation. I was only saying it doesn't have extra money to be paying a group that is doing the same thing which another group has done already. That's what I meant. I didn't say you are poor. You are very rich people. You have not even actually got oil. Not even 1 liter of oil has now arrived to this destination, still on the ship. Yeah, what kills you is corruption. You are not poor, but what kills this country is corruption. Mm-hmm. When you see people stealing even goods for COVID-19, goods, masks. You know, today I did not want to speak, Miriam. To be very honest, I'm disheartened. You steal masks.
Me and you too, Doctor. The stories that I've read in the papers this morning is just disheartening.
I'm finished. Mm-hmm.
No,
you go and steal masks.
We have to keep talking.
You supply something has been broke. What? Where did we go wrong? I have been telling you here every morning. All these governors, all these senators, they are fighting to become governors tomorrow. We have created a chamber of graduation ceremony. Graduate from senator to become the governor of Isiolo. Graduate from senator Naume Wako to become the governor of Masabit. How some of them were chosen to be senators is through beauty. Nominated through beauty. Yeah! I can tell you how. It's beauty. Yes. I mark students. Some of them are Bazungu students. Very beautiful. Yes, I used to do it in South Times College. Oh, sir, where do you come from? By then I was very slender. And the Bazungu, yes, Bazungu girls like slender people. But hi, my exam is not right. Oh, this, I said, so what? I'll give you the marks. I'll give you the marks you deserve. Don't bring here your body. Slender what? What is your problem? I don't care. I tell it as it is. Wazungu, I used to cross them. Come, wake up, read. Go and do it again. You have no English. You are born here. I even write their comments until the professor called me and said, please, David, you are going to cause a riot in this school. I read the comments that you are lucky you were born with this language. Otherwise, you don't know how to construct your statements. Go and write again. You're asking a person that where is the capital city of Cairo, of Egypt, he said it's Cape Town. So what type of life is this? That's the type of life of governance, senators we have. They were selected of beauty. The senators is not a beauty contest. Naume Wako was selected there as a beauty queen. That's why she refused to go when the president wanted her. So this time, the cases are pending there. Wacha wavote namna hivi. Toa! Na sisi tuko na strategy. We'll let them vote today. And you will see tomorrow. Mtu atakuwa without party huku. Yes, Sakaja is spoiled. It's a spoiled chap. Drink imeingia kwa kitu. I'm so sorry. I think it is a clan drink habit. I don't want to tell you more. We are an Arabica. You know, when you go to do things beyond your measure, well, please, you younger people on this show, look at me. I'm 64. I'm going to make 65. I don't hide my age. Because my mother can shame me. She's still alive. She's 90 years today, still alive. She's watching me. I bought a phone, classic phone. She's watching. Now, if I tell a lie that I'm not sick, I am this age, she will call in. And for me, she can shame me here. So don't do this. There's one thing that you have never do it. Never, 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 never. You as younger men, don't, you know what? Please, this is your country. Speak up for your country. Don't agitate for zero. Follow the elders. Don't follow the money.
Yes, and of course, Dr. Matsanga, it is very surprising for the residents of Nairobi, the voters of Nairobi, for their senator, their own senator, to be against a bill that seems to benefit the people of Nairobi. Then as a senator, then he should just resign, because that is not the mandate that the people of Nairobi expected him to represent them at the Senate. If you are from a county that has millions of Kenyans, the capital city of the country, and you are against a bill that is meant to bring more money to these people, then as well you are among the people who are oppressing these people, because Nairobi as at now is struggling with deficiencies in its budget. So it's very cruel for Sakaja to stand wherever he is and say that we support one man, 1 shilling motion in the Senate.
All right, thank you so much, Daniel. Karen from Mombasa, as we end, what are your final comments on today's topic?
I finished. Professor wants to leave. Let's give him Miriam, if you don't mind.
It's okay.
Before Karen, for us, we can leave behind. Professor, you want to leave, make your final comment.
Another shot too, and I need to get prepared for it. Miriam, this should be my parting shot, and you did ask about the 2% prudent use of resources.
Yes, please.
I entirely agree with you that it should be number one. Source of or use of resources here is that we have to wisely and efficiently use resources in mind for the future generation. And the future generation, when you talk about this, you are talking about sustainable development. And when you look at SDG, it is number 12, where it talks about responsible consumption and production. So those counties which it goes or promotes activities toward promoting sustainable development, having renewable energy, should be given more money. And I think that's a very good principle. The percentage should even be more higher, so that it will force some of this our governments, this county government, to do sustainable development, because at the end of the day, we can build roads, we can build schools, we can build hospitals, but if we tamper with the environment, cause pollution, where are the future generations going to get resources to use? So that's a very good point that you brought it, and I wanted to share this. And the debate in the Senate this afternoon, let us rise above the petty partisan politics and provide leadership, take the leaders forward. And I've used my case study of Nyamira and Kisii County. Kisii County has got a bigger population than Nyamira County. The Nyamira County will be losing around 467 to 87 million. So if that money will go to help our sister county or another county in the country, that is the kind of spirit. Otherwise, in the Senate, as Dr. Masanga said, listen to the elders. Jomo Kenyatta is one of the visionary leaders we have ever had in this country, Jomo. And I've never seen any leader who matches him. We tried this thing of the Senate in 1960s. He said, no, I don't have money to pay this. He disbanded it. And the foolish leaders, you think that you have smart, you have gone this one, you go back to what Mzee, the founding father of this nation, said no to. And that's why we are finding ourselves into a quagmire. So for heaven's sake, let us try to listen to our leaders. And as I've mentioned, the Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, has seen it all. There's nothing that Raila Odinga has not tried to make this country better. And is on his sunset age of politics in this country. And let me tell you, people say that if your wife is pregnant and the papa tells you, go and start buying napkins and everything else, you go and do it. Please.
Wisdom. Okay.
What Papa is telling you, because that's wisdom.
All right, thank you so much, Prof. There, it's a very pregnant, food of thought that you've left for us, Prof. It was a pleasure to have you on the show today. Bye bye for now. All right, thank you. Bye bye. All right, so Karen, yes.
We'll meet again.
All right.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Asante.
Karen, you're ending our sentiments on today's topic.
Okay, Miriam, thank you again. I would like to quote what Professor just said. We should listen to our leaders. These people have seen much more than we have. And like the way they say Africans, what an elder sees when seated down, a young man cannot see when standing up. So why don't we just listen to them? We should. And as for what is happening today, let's have
the song that we played, that comment. The song and do you agree with that comment, man?
And we should have the majority have their way. And we've been saying of unity. I will bring it over again. Of course, I've talked about it before, but we've talked of unity, and let's put it into practice. Let us, whatever it is we're doing, let us have it as a priority. And as for the sustainable development, we should not just be thinking of right now. We know as leaders we should see the future. So whatever it is that we're doing, let us also consider having it increased, whatever it is, the percentage right now, because it has to do with the future. Thank you very much, Miriam, Dr. Matsanga, Wesonga, and the rest of the panel. This is Karen Joseph from Malindi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. And it was a pleasure to actually put a face on that voice we normally hear today. So it was really lovely to see you and also to have
Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you so much. So, Daniel, I think there's a question there I asked earlier. Doc, I don't know if you heard it correctly, but he did not really answer it. This prudent use of public resources at 2%, meaning that the allocation of money to the counties should be based on the previous spending allocations and how they spend it and how well they spend it. Prudent spending. But we see this is a point that is quite crucial but has been overlooked when it comes to allocation of the monies and the formula that they use, and it's been given a very low percentage there at 2%. Should this now be at the top there, the things that they should look at when they determine how much money they're supposed to allocate in the next financial year to our counties? Daniel, there, as you give your final comments, could you enlighten, talk about that?
Yes, thank you, Miriam. And I take this opportunity, first of all, to thank all the panelists. I think we put this issue quite into perspective. And of course, one of the key questions that this formula seeks to address is the prudent usage of the monies that are sent to the counties through the devolution. And you've seen these counties that are deemed to be marginalized. These are the counties where we've been having very rampant cases of corruption. And if you walk in this town in Nairobi, these people who work in these counties are Marsabit, Isiolo, Wajir, Mandera, Garissa. These are the people who own this town. These are people who are buying apartments in South C, South B. They have taken over now in Kilimani. They are buying very palatial homes in Karen and elsewhere in the country. So really, we do need to account first for this small amount of money that is given to the counties, to these the perceived marginalized counties. And as earlier said in this show, that development is very gradual. You cannot suffocate these counties with a lot of money. You cannot be allowing people in Garissa to have money in their coffers to steal it through corruption, while in Nairobi, our roads in the CBD, the capital of the country, has potholes, while people in Nairobi are not having enough in terms of Medicare and in terms of education in the schools. We don't have enough facilities. So we need to allocate this money in terms of priority and achieving effectiveness in the expenditure and the development structure. So let's first of all see how these counties can be able to spend the little that is given to them. And from there, if there's any need to maybe equalize and upgrade them, then the government can take a step and do so. But meanwhile, saying that they need to get the equal share, if they cannot be able to account for whatever that is given to them, then it will be the greatest fallacy as a country. And of course, lastly, this revenue allocation formula, it has been discussed by the counties, it has been discussed by the national government, the experts have weighed in input, and also they have done comparative analysis from countries that are using the same system of allocation. So I find it quite sufficient, and it's what the country should adopt to ensure that there is a balanced growth and development in every part of this country, and every citizen that goes to the ballot is satisfied by what they get from the national cake. That is my parting shot, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much, Daniel Wesonga there. And has become our ardent viewer here. Ina Hassan is in the house. I don't know how you feel about the sentiments there shared by Daniel, but thank you so much. Now we go to Kisumu and Samson. Your parting shot.
Thank you so much, Miriam. First of all, I want to echo the sentiments of my brother Daniel. Prudence principle is a very important principle in matters public resource, public administration, and also public resource allocation. You know, we don't need to for example, over the past 8 years, we've seen billionaires coming out of our county government. We have seen like people with zero business acumen becoming millionaires and billionaires. So first of all, let us put them to task. Let them use the little resources that they have. First of all, if there is need, then government has mechanisms to address the shortfalls. Now back to my parting shot. I want to appeal to the age and experience of our senators, because majority of them are in their 60s. I want to appeal to their age and conscience. Let them not plunge this county into chaos. We have a county to protect. And also last week, we also saw a lot of political bickering with some calls, with people calling for regional political parties. People at the coast were blaming ODM leaders, ODM Nyanza senators for abandoning them, and they're even looking at Takatanga as the better option. I want to ask them, and now my panelist from the coast is there. How did, for example, Senator Cherargei vote? How did the senator for Uasin Gishu vote? For example, another senator for Kericho. These are Tangatanga regions. So the problem is not a political party. The problem lies with your leaders. They really lie to you. They want to set political scores. So all these other things, if there is a shortfall in this particular revenue allocation arrangement, there is always a mechanism. There is an equalization fund to address that. The rest of the political problems can be solved elsewhere. Let us support the government. Let us support this particular revenue formula. It takes the interest of every Kenyan at heart. Thank you from Kisumu, and may God bless you.
Well, thank you there, Samson. Doctor, can you end it for us?
Let me remove this. Medium, from morning, 4 things have come out. 1, does Kenya need a constitution that always fragments the state? Does Kenya need a constitution that fragments the state? 2, is the Constitution of Republic of Kenya very good for Kenya, bad for Kenya, or worse for Kenyans? 3, how much money do these counties that want more collect? What is the difference between equality and equity? Quantitative politics and equity, Wesonga can work out to that. As a tax collector go? Tax collector go to where there is quantity, to harness the more houses that pay water rates, the more revenue you get. Where houses in Isiolo, Mandera, Masabit, Samburu, if the senators of Samburu can say, our people spend the whole year looking for water and pastures, and they cannot come for census, doesn't it worry you as an ordinary Kenyan who pays taxes while people are busy looking which animals you are going to rustle, cattle rustling? Where will you take the animals? The woman has told us that they spend all the whole year. That time they waited for census to come, and they moved. They went into Somalia, and they came back after the census was over. So, is there any economic activity there? If there is an economic activity, the governors of this county, can they show me one factory that packs milk, camel milk, which costs about $120 a tin in Saudi Arabia? Anybody from this county, including Ina Hassan, show me one factory where camel milk is done, is packed and exported through Isiolo Airport. Show me. Tell me there is a factory there is an abattoir in Isiolo that has been left for 7 years. My people of Isiolo carry their sheep and the goats, slaughter them near the airport, isn't it? There is an abattoir somewhere near the airport. Am I wrong? Somewhere down there in the Mlolongo, on your way to Mombasa, to Machakos. I've seen an abattoir there or something. It is somewhere here. That abattoir was opened by Kibaki. Everybody was happy, and we thought things would work. They get the money to service the abattoir that does not function. Lastly, if you are telling us you will leave this Kenya for us, then why do we continue to pay for you to live? Why should Miriam wake up early in the morning when Songa and her, Karen and others are Romba, they are struggling to pay for you to live. Yet we are paying for you to stay. Okay, if I were the president today, I would allow this money to be given to them. And wait. And then go and bring BBI and put one question only. Wala ya Mungu. Tamaliza kila kitu. Mzee, don't bother even, leave them take the money. Put one question. You want, does Kenya deserve a Senate? Do you need a Senate, Miriam, in Kenya? Surely, think twice. Do you need to have members of Senate drawing money for things of duplicity, which the MCAs can do and forward to national parliament? Do you need senators? Why do you need a senator and a woman rep? And then you need an MP, several MPs, where the senator in the same landmass, Isiolo, Masabit have senator, woman rep, then MCAs, representing the same landmass, duplicating the same projects. What the senator will come for the road, it will be the same MCA. Is there no ward? There is a ward. So what is the ward development fund doing? Why should the senator talk about a bridge? What does the senator do? If you look at your constitution, which is hybrid, which was borrowed from America, South Africa, and Britain, the role of a senator is one, to supervise the counties. Is there another role?
Oversight.
It's an oversight role over the counties. Why do we need a prefect over a governor? Yet the governor can be appointed by the central government, paid from the central government, money using the central government cards without buying special car for a governor. Have you thought about that? If you had an appointed governor, if Joho was an appointed governor of Mombasa, the amount of expenses will be less. Because he will move like he will use the government, central government cars. We don't need to buy another car. But here we have appointed governors. We are paying them salary. From the job they are getting, they are not collecting money. It is like you telling me you are eating meat in Sagret Hotel, but you don't know where the meat comes from. Suguta Valley. Have you told me? Did you remember when I told you, Miriam, about the meat? When I talked about it, it stopped. You go to the Great Corner. Go and stand outside as the cows are brought out of the train. Ask every farmer, and where did you get this cow? It's stolen. And we are watching theft. Have you seen? Is there cattle rustling anymore? When the army went to Suguta Valley, do you hear of anybody taking a cow? It means the cattle was being stolen. The meat, Kenya has the best meat in the whole world, Miriam. The price of meat in Kenya is the lowest in the whole world. Why? Because we eat stolen meat. Think about it. A kilo of meat in the United Kingdom, you know how much it is? It's 4 pounds. 4 pounds. A kilo of beef. Unaenda kwa duka hapo nasema kata 4 pound. Ine. Pound moja is one pound is 1,300 shillings, isn't it? Times 4 pounds. That is how much?
1 pound is 100 and something, I think.
Under 30.
Mm.
Yeah, Miriam, imagine. But Kenyan meat is 300 shillings a kilo. So can't you sit down on your bed and ask, where does this meat come from? Why do people sell it so cheaply? From the original place. Why is it coming so cheap? There was someone selling it, he's stealing it. If you go to Electorate and ask the railway manager, how much money do they collect from these animals being loaded on the train? Can the governor tell you they are supposed to collect market fees for the Kenya Railways to load the animals to the Dagoretti Center? Okay, ask the manager, where are the permits? The veterinary department is supposed to issue permits before an animal is transferred. Who issues the permits of stolen cows? Where does this money go? The pockets of people. So governors, counties have let us down. They have not collected the money. They don't collect the tax. They rely on this money of the government, I submit.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much there, Doctor, for ending it for us. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Karen from Mombasa. Thank you, Professor, who has left the conversation a while ago. And also thank you so much, Daniel there. And the rest of you, our viewers, thank you so much for watching and for participating in today's show. My name is Miriam Mugutu. I'll see you sometimes later. Bye-bye for now.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.